Hello and welcome to another Excel tips video. I am Sumit Bansal, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to extract URLs from hyperlinks in Excel. Now there is no dedicated function or feature in Excel to do this, but it can easily be done using a very simple VBA code. So let's see how it's done. So here I have this data set where I have these company names in column A, and each of these cells is hyperlinked to the Wikipedia page of these companies. And I want to extract the URL here in this adjacent column. Now there are two ways to do this using VBA. One is to use a VBA subroutine where it would go through the cells in this column and extract the URLs in the adjacent column. And the other way is to create your own custom function that you can use anywhere in the worksheet, just like regular function, and then refer to this cell and extract the URL anywhere. So it just doesn't have to be adjacent column or cell. It could be anywhere in the worksheet or even the workbook. So let me show you both of these methods. So I have this VBA code here for the subroutine, and I will have this VBA code in the description so you can copy and use it. Now I'm going to go to the developer tab here in the Excel ribbon and click on Visual Basic icon. And when I do that, it opens the Visual Basic editor, something as you see on the screen. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Alt F11. So you hold the Alt key and press the F11 key, and that is also going to open the same VB editor. Now here, I would first have to insert a module because this is where I'm going to put my VBA code. So I'm going to go to this insert option here and then click on module. And when I do that, you can see on the left here, it has added a module. So on the left, what you see is a project explorer where this is the workbook, which is the workbook name here. And then these are the objects. These are the sheets in the workbook. In the same workbook object, I have added a module, and then in this module I'm going to use the VBA code that would then be run in this Excel workbook. So here I'm going to paste this VBA code. Let me quickly tell you what this code is. So it declares a variable called hyperlink, which is HYPLNK, as a hyperlink object, and then it goes through all the hyperlinks in the selection, and I will have to make the selection. So I would come here, I would select all these cells here, then I would run the VBA code. So what this code does is it goes through each of these cells in the selection, and then it extracts the address of these hyperlinks in the adjacent column. So for that, I've used the offset 01 so that it would offset and then give me the hyperlink address. So now when I run this code, see what happens. I have this here, so I have this adjacent column which is visible, and now to run this code I can click on this green icon, which is to run the macro, or I can just place the cursor anywhere and then use the F5 key. See what happens as soon as I run this, and you have to make the selection first because it only goes through all the cells within the selection. So now when I click on run, it would instantly extract all these hyperlinks. Now this is very quick. Even if you have hundreds or even thousands of cells with hyperlinks, it would be able to do it within a second. Now let me show you another method to do this. So let me close this. And here I have the code for a function, and this is, to be honest, I think is a better way to do this, unless you always want these to be extracted in the adjacent column. Creating a function is a better way to do this, and you'll see why. So again, I'll do the same thing. I would go to the developer tab, click on Visual Basic, and in this case, let me remove this code. And again, if you're opening VB editor for the first time, you will have to insert a module because the code always goes in the module. And now I'm going to paste this. Now the function again does the very simple thing. It creates a function called extract URL. You can call it anything you want. You can make this get URL, fetch URL, whatever you want. And then it goes and checks whether there's a URL, there is a hyperlink in the cell or not. If there is no hyperlink, then it is going to return an empty string. But if there is a hyperlink, it is going to give me the address. It's a very simple function. And now once I've created it, I will be able to use this function called extract URL in worksheet, just like any other function. So when I come here, I can now use the function extract URL while I'm typing. You can see that function also shows up in the list here. And now it only takes one single argument, which is the reference of the cell that has the URL. And now when I hit enter, it gives me the result, and I can drag this for all these. Now the good thing here is it doesn't need to be in this adjacent column. It could be anywhere. So I can use this here and select this cell. Now when I hit enter, it gives me the URL anywhere where I use this function. So these are two ways you can use to quickly extract the URLs from hyperlinks in Excel. Now, if you want to reuse these codes, the function code or the VBA code, the subroutine code, you will have to save this file as a macro enabled workbook. So when you're saving it, save it with the .xlsm extension so that the macro code is going to be saved in the file. And when you open it next, you would be able to use the same codes again. If you do not save it as a macro enabled file, the VBA codes would be lost. Another thing is if you want to use this quite often, let's say you work with data set where you have to often extract the URLs from hyperlinks, you can save this code, put this code in the personal macro workbook where this code can then be used on any workbook on your system. You don't need to save it as a macro enabled file. You can open any workbook, and if the code is in the personal macro workbook, you would be able to use it. So I would have a video link in the description where I would show you how to use and put the code in personal macro workbook as well. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Also, if you're liking these videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. Thank you and have a nice day.